big belt buckle.
My name's Matt Choi, ultra marathoner. I've ran the length of Korea, and now I'm getting ready for Leadville 100, and I'm also a cane athlete. Leadville 100's arguably one of the most sought after 100-mile races in the country. There's something special about this race. The energy in Leadville is something that is uncomparable. Personally, I put my name into this race for the past 3 years and I haven't gotten in. This has been the first year, and when I got that email, I was ecstatic, to be quite frank. I first heard about Leadville. My buddy Billy Yang made one of the dopest YouTube videos about Leadville. It inspired me to start challenging myself in ways that were uncomfortable for me. And that point in my journey was just 5Ks and 10Ks and half marathons. And I never actually thought I could actually do the 100-mile distance. After watching Billy's video, Y100, I then signed up for my first 100-mile race. I always said that I didn't want to be someone that just does something one time. And I just want to be the type of person that continues to show up, regardless if you've hit an accolade or if you've done something and you've gotten some success. I always want to be willing to push myself at a different season of life. And that's why I want to run the 100-mile race. But this specific spot is called Hill of Life, and it's as much elevation as you're gonna get in Austin, Texas. And it's a trail, so this is what we're doing to get ready for Leadville. I come here and just do rounds of this, and this is our morning run. Round 3, baby. So it's continuous. So the good thing is that you're training uphill and downhill in shorter increments, so it's a more controlled environment for training. But like at Hope Pass, like you have to do 2.5 miles and you have to climb almost 3 miles. But then immediately you have to be able to run 3 miles downhill too, which is really hard on the quad. So this gives you kind of like a small dosage of both. Today I'm gonna do some 800 meter repeats, and I'll probably mix in a couple 1,000 meter repeats. This is not gonna be as fast as I would normally do this for like a marathon prep. But the thing with ultras is that you don't really have to run this fast. It's like nice to open up a little bit, because like I've been doing so much like trotting and hiking. A lot of the guys that we were training with at Leadville, like they've been grinding, and I have too. But like I feel like I've approached this training camp in a really good way, and I'm gonna show up to the race healthy. And I think that is actually one of the biggest things you can do, is show up healthy, and then figure it out as you go. "10 days out from Leadville 100. I'm feeling good, man. Mentally and physically, I just feel sharp. I'm ready to run. I think for something like Leadville, especially with my goal of wanting to try to execute it in under sub 25, I think it's one of those that's going to require a level of focus and intention in training, but then also coming on the day of race. A lot of it for me is like starting to just like put myself in those positions of like suffering and pain. Like I'm envisioning those moments where I'm coming to the aid station and I'm hurt. I'm coming into Hope Pass and like I'm going through some suffering. Like I'm envisioning what it's gonna feel like to like be at mile 65 and be at mile 80, and like I'm gonna be hurt, and like mentally preparing myself and armoring myself to understand that that's okay. It's just one of those things that it's a mental game that you have to play with yourself as an athlete. We're 12 hours away from running Leadville. I think after months of training, a lot of prep, a lot of planning with the team, it's actually been, it gives me a little bit of goosebumps, the thought of like trying to execute with this current plan that I have right in front of me. I'm just full of gratitude on the fact that like I have people around me that are bought into the mission of accomplishing something that's bigger than just one person. This is truly, in my opinion, all about the people. And something I've been thinking about during this prep and during the build-up, even being here in Colorado, is like it's just strength in numbers. And it's having all the people around, it's having the people that are executing on their role on the team and doing it to the best of their ability, and me also allowing them to execute on those positions and those roles. But in a culmination, it's obviously all the work that I've put into to do this, but it's also the people that have believed in this and also want to support me and see me cross the finish line when I want to. And honestly, it's special, man. Like, we're 12 hours away, and I'm getting a little bit nervous energy right now just on the fact that we're about to enter into the pain cave, and at some point it might break, it might push me out of my comfort, it might take me to a place where I haven't been yet. And I think it's just being fully open and welcoming all of those feelings, because you just don't know what's going to happen over a course of 100 miles. But what I do know is having the support and the crew and the pacers and the people behind the scenes that are helping deliver this goal, it's truly what makes something like this special. So, about 10 miles in, and it's going solid. Keeping good pace, that's the goal. Try to stay on time as best as we can. The sun is starting to come up. We're about a little less than 2 hours in. Here we go.
We're walking outward bound right now. It's the first aid station that we're allowed to crew. So we got everything. We're gonna make some breakfast tacos. We're gonna have everything ready for Matt's when he shows up, probably about 7:45. We'll give him what he needs and get him on his way so we can head to Twin Lakes and do the same thing again.
Sunrise is no joke. It's beautiful out. We're climbing Sugarloaf, also known as Powerline, on the front side. So this actually becomes a really big downhill on the way back. But probably go to a power again. Mile 20. We're here at the power line. Big downhill descent right now. Legs are feeling good. Trying to make up some time right now. We're looking good to hit outward at the 4 hour mark, about 8 a.m. I'm in a good spot now. We'll leave here in 3 minutes.
You're right on time.
Yeah, you're good.
I got a timer going.
Burn it down.
Yeah, baby.
There's no better feeling than being able to come to these aid stations and have like your team, your pacers, your crew kind of help refuel you. And not just from the landscape of like your water and your food and your nutrition, but also like the energy that you get from your team. I think is something that's really important in these ultra marathons. I honestly say I don't think I'd hit sub 25 without them. All right, we're at like mile 38, coming into Twin Lakes for the first time. I'm feeling all right. Legs are a little tight. We're ahead of schedule by like 20 minutes, so that's a win. We're at Twin Lakes. Hope pass next.
I know, I put him right back there.
The hardest moment of the race, I think, was probably the backside of Hope. You're already past the halfway point, but the furthest climb, the highest climb is still yet to be finished, and mentally it just beats you up. Oh, 56. We just submitted Hope on the backside. Oh my God. It feels nice to summit this thing. Mile 60, a little less than 2 miles from Twin Lakes, which would be where I'll be able to get a pacer. Back to running right now. Not gonna lie, but legs, feet, they don't feel great. My morale is good. Spirit is good. The goal of sub 25, it's still on the table, but we need to execute these last 40 miles pretty flawlessly. And I'm currently running a little bit behind schedule because of how fast. There's always some level of fear of like, am I gonna finish? Am I gonna hit my goal time? I think in those moments of doubt and fear and uncertainty, when they did creep up during this race, I think it's allowing those things to happen, like organically and naturally. And as they do present itself, it's just showing yourself grace. Whether that means pausing for a second, whether that means taking a couple breaths, whether that means complaining maybe for a second. But I think when you allow it to happen and you try not to fight it, you also understand that, like, in the back of my mind, I know I'm not gonna quit. And that gives me peace. I'm like, not even enough. Anyone that's out there looking to challenge themselves or do an ultra, like, please, like, don't do it by yourself. Like, you could probably do it, but just don't. It's way more enjoyable having people with you, a crew and pacer specifically. Like, the energy lift that I got from just having a pacer and having someone who's supporting me on my mission for those last 38 miles. It was a game changer to hitting the time.
Matt, over here.
Taco,
Got all your
baby.
stuff in front of you?
We're gonna keep the shoes and socks.
I got new socks. I got warm socks. I dried them. I do for it, but we need your.
Yeah. You want this one, right? Gore wear, correct?
Yeah, give me the Gore jacket.
Yes, sir. You don't want it on right now, or you want it?
Mile 80 quarter. Power line. This is no joke. This is the road to the big belt buckle. I completed Leadville 100 in 24 hours, 49 minutes, and 17 seconds. Walking away out of this experience, I think I'm beyond satisfied and fulfilled with the experience. It's not even about the time or the outcome, but walking away knowing that I gave everything I had on that mountain. I could have lived with whatever the result was. I want to continue to push my limits and my boundaries and get uncomfortable in different ways. So for me, there is a lot to learn still, and I'm still a work in progress in that sense. And I think that distance is something I'm curious about. And walking away from Leadville, I mean, I'd be lying if there wasn't a thirst or a craving to do other ones. Let's go back. Sub 25. We came, we conquered. Everyone here, honestly, I couldn't have done this without them. I think that's truly the biggest thing. Strength in numbers. It's always the people involved in dope memories like this. I think truly what I'm passionate about is not actually the running. I'm passionate about learning and the curiosity, right? Running is just now become the vehicle. That's what happens when you're willing to suffer for 25 hours. If you believe in something, if you want to do something, you get one shot at this life, so go do it. And people are gonna look at you, you're gonna get judgment, people are gonna ask questions. A lot of your old friends, people are gonna say, why are you doing this? And the moment you hear that is the moment you know you're in the right direction. I'm Matt Choi. This has been dope. I'll see you guys in the next one.
You want to take a beer?
I'm good. I'm just going to sleep.